Hi, my name is Jim Comiskey, and welcome to a video training program on marketing, pet store marketing. What we're going to discuss is the most important element of your store, and that's repeat customers. We're going to discuss that element in terms of two things, your staff and your store. Those are the major components in your marketing effort. You see, the secret to successful pet store marketing is to do those things that don't cost very much money but deliver a lot of repeat customers. In your guidebook, you'll see a lot of low-cost marketing strategies that I would encourage you to adopt. During the course of this video, you're going to see a seminar, a live seminar that I conducted for store owners and managers just like yourself. During that seminar, there was a slide presentation. You'll see on your screen what they saw on theirs. We begin with a discussion of advertising, which may not be the best marketing vehicle for your pet store. We get impacted with about 1,600 messages a day. That's radio, television, newspaper, skywriting, t-shirts. There's a whole array of marketing messages being thrown at us. So that noise level is almost as loud as trying to outshout the folks at the Super Bowl. So reality today is not, at least for small retailers, and not in conventional advertising. It's also a waste factor. Try this experiment. Take the last 50 people that come into your store that present you with checks, write down the addresses of those checks, get a map, pinpoint the locations of those customers. I think you'll be surprised to find out how short a radius they come from, your market. And in advertising, most of the conventional advertising, radio, television, newspaper, it's a waste factor. Most of that lands beyond your market. And furthermore, all of it's very expensive, and sometimes your motivation and your money run out long before the advertising fully takes effect. Advertising, the experts say that advertising, media advertising, sometimes takes between 4 and 6 and sometimes as long as 9 months to really get through to the conscious level of your consumer. Now that you've heard all of that, let me explain the 3 principles that make media advertising work. Number 1, consistency. Pick a theme, a typeface, a certain logo or graphic, and stick with it. Familiarity builds confidence, and confidence builds sales. Number 2, long-term commitment. Consider your advertising an investment. See it as months instead of weeks. Better yet, see it as years instead of months. Number 3, trackable results. Determine whether or not your customers are in the store because of the advertising. That's what counts. Now let's discuss the key factor of success in every retail pet store. Think about this. What would your stores be without your repeat customers? What kind of a business would you have? Take your repeat customers out. Would you have a successful store? Probably not. Now think about this. Suppose you could triple the number of repeat customers that you have right now. Would you have a successful store? You bet. So that's what we're going to work on. And what do repeat customers do for you? They pay the rent and the overhead. They also spread the word. Marketing by positive word of mouth, the most powerful marketing vehicle you've got at your disposal. How do you get repeat customers? You meet or exceed their expectations. Once you start to exceed people's expectations, the point score goes up. Think about this in terms of points. Customers, when you exceed their expectations, they score positive points on your side. And those positive points will give you anywhere from a 10 to a 30% increase in sales. And I'm talking annually here. What do they want? Service. That's the name of the game in retail today, service. They want to be treated special. It's not money anymore. Price is not the factor as much as it used to be. Only 9% of the population buys retail products based on price alone today. That means 91% are buying for some other reason. And most of those are buying because of quality customer service. When I was in the business, I saw my staff as the key to my success. I set up standards and guidelines for them. Then I created training programs to help them do their job well. Here are the 4 standards that I set up for my employees. 1. Every customer is to be greeted in a friendly manner. 2. Show we really sincerely care about our customer and their pet. 3. Provide expert advice and sell whatever products it takes to do the job right. And 4. Keep the store immaculately clean. They want to be greeted. You know, in a lot of retail stores you walk in and nobody says hello. That's what they want. They want somebody to say hello. They don't necessarily want somebody to say, "May I help you?" That gives them the chance to say, "No, just looking, thank you." But they want to be greeted. They want a hello and a smile. They want to be treated special. They want to be treated like the good guys. So you have to put systems together so that your employees know how to treat the customers like the good guys. They want people, staff in a store, to be knowledgeable. They want them to know the products. They want them to be able to ask the right questions. That's important, so they can connect with them. They want employees that'll listen to them so they understand what their needs are. It's important that your staff see their marketing role, and you can help by establishing clear standards and guidelines. Now let's see how your store plays its marketing role. Store factors are the other side of the equation. Clean and uncluttered. I put that first on the list because I really believe that's the most important one on the list. McDonald's did not get its grand image as a result of gourmet hamburgers. They got it as a result of very clean, impeccably clean restaurants. They have 10,000 stores across the world, and they're all very clean. It's very important to them to have a clean store. And I think that you should see it the same way. Clean and uncluttered. That's what the customers visualize. They actually, what happens here is they actually visualize your management based on the cleanliness of the store. Remember, 85% of it's visual? That's what they can see. They don't understand what's behind the scenes. So subsequently, as clean and as uncluttered as your environment can be, that's how they perceive the management of the business. They want your store to be fully stocked. Have you ever been in a department store or a grocery store just before a weekend? The product looks like it's falling off the shelf, but it makes the store look good. Make your store look good. Put your investment, your money into inventory. I'd rather have an inventory than any other thing if I was in retail. Fair prices. As I said before, they don't need the lowest prices. They just need fair prices. Only 9% of the people are buying because of low prices. The rest are buying for some other reason. Liberal recourse. There's a trend moving across America today, and the trend is money back, no questions asked. Think about it. Very few people will take advantage of it. But what it does is shows to the customer that you're to be trusted. There's a high degree of credibility when you give money back, no questions asked. Drama and excitement. When they walk into your store, they want to see something exciting. I know you promoted Easter and you promoted Christmas, but what about Mother's Day and Father's Day and Grandparents' Day and St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day? Figure out every possible way you can create excitement in your stores, create drama in your stores. Change your displays around. Make it exciting. When those customers come in, they must feel good about that. Make your store as exciting as possible. That's what really works in pet retailing. Your customers are looking for an experience when they visit your store. Now let's look at that issue in an interesting way. Think about your store as a game, an opportunity to score points or in fact lose points. And that's the critical aspect of this thing. You can lose points as well as score points. Now, the difference between your side and competition is the commitment that your customers have in you. The greater the difference, the more commitment, the more loyalty, the greater the depth of that repeat customer and wanting to shop at your store. So how can you score positive points? Well, I've just listed a few here, but what I'd suggest to you is to make a list yourself. Make a list of all of the possible ways that your customer impacts your store, either with a visit, a telephone call, or with a employee. Let's talk about telephone calls. Have you got a system in place where that telephone is answered within 3 rings by a friendly voice that knows what he or she is talking about? That's what they want. They want that phone picked up quickly, and they want a friendly, knowledgeable voice on the other side. The exterior of your store, look at it from the eyes of the customer. Is it inviting? No, more than that, is it magnetic? Is it pulling people into the store? Do they want to go in and see based on what they see from the outside? First impressions, when they walk in the door, is that first impression a very positive one? Are you scoring points as they walk in the door? All the lights lit? Are the fingerprints off the glass? Is the cash and wrap counter really uncluttered? That's what they're looking at. And that's what they're measuring you on, and that's what they're scoring points on. First human contact. Is that first human contact friendly? It's got a smile on his or her face. The sales process. Once they get into the sales process, your employees get into the sales process, is it a positive event for that customer? Or do they feel like they're being pushed? Do those salespeople that you have working for you go through a process? Nice, easy process where they listen to the customer, find out what they need before they try to make a sale. Make a friend before you try to make a sale. It works real well. And then after the sale contact, are you doing anything after they buy from you to cement that relationship with that repeat customer? You have an opportunity to go a real marketing mile here by doing a few things. The first on the list is call your customers by name. I'm sure every one of you probably has 20, 30 customers that come into your store on a regular basis that you know their name. Try to put a strategy and a plan together where in 1 year you can triple the number of people that you can call by name. You really cement that relationship once you know their name. They'll be very reluctant to go to other stores because you know their name. Send them thank you notes after they buy a big ticket, high ticket item. Send them a thank you note in the mail. And the payoff? Lifelong customers. It's a very interesting proposition. I was reading a book recently. Tom Peters has written quite a few books. Perhaps some of you know the name. He's written a book on, the name of the book is called Thriving on Chaos. I thought it was very appropriate for the retail business. And in his book, he talks about an issue that relates to this lifelong customer situation. He talks about the Federal Express courier that comes into his office on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And he said this courier should look at his receptionist and see a sign printed across her forehead. And the sign should say, I'm a $180,000 account. That's a lot of money. He said, I came to that figure by extrapolating my monthly charges over a 10-year period. I'm going to be here for 10 years. Federal Express is going to be here for 10 years. They shouldn't look at me just as picking up 3 packages a day. They should look at me in terms of how much business am I worth to them over a 10-year period. I thought that was an interesting way to approach repeat customers. If you're going to be around for 10 years, think in terms of these customers being around for 10 years. Well, I did the same thing for the restaurant that after I read this, I did the same thing for the restaurant that I go into, the dry cleaners that I frequent, and the men's store where I buy my clothes. Now, I didn't come up with $180,000 in any of them, but I did come up with some pretty significant figures on a 10-year basis. And then I put the multiplier effect in. See, there's a multiplier effect. When people are really happy with you, they multiply the impact by the number of people that they tell, that positive word of mouth. Anywhere from 7 to 10 people, if you really make them happy, they'll go out to tell 7 to 10 people. That's an interesting and a powerful concept. Consider the customer that came into your store 3 years ago and bought a goldfish bowl. Then they came back and bought a 10-gallon starter kit because they were happy. and then they even came back and bought a larger tank and perhaps even a third tank. How much are they spending on an annual basis now? Probably $300, $400, or maybe even $500. They're in your store 2 or 3 times a month. Now the same thing can happen with dogs, cats, small animals, or birds. Start to visualize that number, not just the annual dollars that they spend, but the 10-year factor. Because you're going to be around for 10 years, and if they're lifelong customers, they're going to be around for 10 years. So marketing just isn't advertising. It's how your employees relate to your customers and how much excitement and drama you create in your stores. So manage the moments. Create loyal, repeat customers. Customers that'll stay with you for a lifetime. Thank you and good luck.